You're listening to Edge Radio TV. The views and opinions expressed in this program are that of the hosts or guests, and not the Edge Radio Network or its advertisers or affiliates.
Well, hello and welcome to Ninja Talks. This is Oscar Hines. I am beside myself because I am beside some amazing beings. Wait, what? What? So we are going to have one conversation that will be like in the record books. Miss Jen Colmenares, how are you?
I am beautiful.
Yes,
Absolutely
you are.
Beautiful. Well, beautiful in the world. The
Okay,
energy
well,
is
yeah.
lovely. So thank you.
And
I'm on cloud nine.
Yeah, well,
the energy in here is amazing.
It is. You're right, and I always love it because it's palpable. You can feel it. You can feel it resonating. I've gotten some amazing pictures I'm going to post later of us having some fun.
Yes.
I don't know if you know. I was downstairs dancing just now. Like,
were you?
For real. Yeah.
That explains it. Like you just keep sending it out. Like we're all rolling in it.
Yeah.
Now, I would be remiss if I did not introduce these two amazing ladies to our extreme right here, because they're right about so many things, right? So first we have Miss Teddy
They are women.
Noev. Hello, Miss Teddy. How
Good
are
morning,
you?
Oscar. I'm great. How are you?
I am doing fabulous. You have an amazing resume. We're going to delve into that a little bit. We're going to just touch on it a little bit. We'll develop that a little bit later. And Miss Stephanie Wilson is in the house. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Oscar. Thank you for having me.
Gosh, now, so I just want to jump right in here. I do. You guys, suffice it to say, are in the energy space. You have a worldview about how people need to really comport their lives to start changing and transforming their existence. But it's both from a physical and a spiritual point of view. So when we juxtapose these two ladies, it is like
Just stir the pot.
That's right. So there is a transformation that takes place on a physical level and a spiritual level. And you guys have been walking that walk. So let me have you sort of just give us a prelude to this idea of how we transform. Let's start with Teddy.
Wow, how one transforms. It is actually so simple, Oscar, that people don't believe it. It starts from within with our thinking. For we are with you guys about this unspoken disease we have in the United States that's called giving your power away. We give
My beautiful daughter, who apologizes for sucking up oxygen in the room, don't do that. You're a queen. Take more oxygen. Spread out. If you will, that's been sort of infecting our consciousness from your perspective.
One word: trauma. Trauma. And the commands that we have put on our subconscious that live there over and over again. Those spiritual healing and the
that I have, right, is a record that gets stuck in one place. Remember when records used to just loop over and over again? So when somebody experiences this trauma, it's like,
Yes. Absolutely.
So then people are creating this negative outcome over and over again.
over and over again.
You know,
And not even aware of it.
Yeah.
Remember, you resonate at that sound frequencies affect the physical universe.
Yes.
But thought frequencies do the same thing.
They do the same
So when
thing.
someone's positive about something negative, they're going to bring it every time.
And do you know the
Yes.
mechanism or the medium that makes that happen? Universal law.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
But
so
Woody, if there wasn't a that's
nothing
important.
to correlate that journey with.
Exactly.
Yep.
So in the NLP space, Teddy, there is an opportunity to really 50-year-olds are still trying to figure this shit out, right?
You know, it's a journey.
The answer is
we're
simple.
constantly improving.
It's our thoughts, the power of our behavior. They're our beliefs. Decades, your
You can
whole
change it.
lifetime.
Yep.
You're given a whole new energetic opportunity right here
Yes.
and right now
Yes.
to make a change.
So,
You know, I like surprise.
she work
Okay.
as well as different nutraceuticals as a health and wellness practitioner.
Awesome.
And one of the things that I love most, and Teddy and I, we talked about this, and that's the best of my life is behind me. I don't have anything to look forward to.
Yeah.
There's nothing left except these lousy.
I'm the guinea pig.
There is talks here on the Ed Colmenares. Don't go anywhere. Back in a moment. And we are back. This is negative or what poison you want, right?
That's right.
So you guys have seen that in people's lives, right? The more they think about something bad, right?
Yep.
So all of us right now, between us right now,
Absolutely.
what we think is space is not space.
It's not.
It's occupied by one of the laws of nature, just like gravity. So we're gonna hold up both hands. I'm gonna try to push them down. You're gonna hold up one foot, whichever one you're comfortable with. Let me help you balance.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Okay, try it one more time. She's still in the vortex.
Yeah.
She's still in the
I can still
vortex.
feel it.
Okay, step in. Hold the arm up. Lift. I pulled the vortex.
Well, and
That's
new
kind of
thought,
like
our spiritual principle, and that is oneness.
yes, oneness, because we're connected.
Mhm.
We're connected between an.
Yes.
She was kind of sucking. What's fascinating about that
Wow.
whole thing is that everybody can do that. Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
We're doing it every day. We're doing it when we talk to our kids and we say, "Don't spill the milk." Was that they heard when to show that.
Yeah,
to-
I'm still
That was
buzzing.
pretty
trying
cool.
to figure out how
I'm
that is.
still buzzing.
That's pretty cool. Guys.
Yes, I'm
That
just
was
still
pretty cool.
grounding myself.
That was pretty cool.
So let me ask you, lady, to not, I say, communicate telepathically.
That's right.
And we thought they were primitive. Women have that same skill set, especially as they get older. So talk to me about that.
And know and own,
Story not only to share for the sake of throwing self-pity parties,
right?
but owning my story, because who I am today, walking, talking, is a product of everything. And I decided to leave a very successful career in education of over 20 years. But I felt like I was good at what I was doing, but I was not.
And just say, this is because of this.
Mm.
And once I began to change the questions I was asking, the answers began to show up. And
Yeah.
it's like Teddy said, you have to listen to that voice. And some people ask me, well, what is a mastered your purpose? That's it. It's the highest state of embodiment.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And to embody something means you have to.
It's
Yes.
the known.
Yeah.
How many people have achieved miraculous things being in their comfort zone? It prohibits us from being the greatest version.
I absolutely love it, because if we don't leave that safety of that comfort zone, it unnecessarily touch on something that you mentioned, Stephanie, in the break.
Mhm.
When we say goodbye in Sanskrit or in the Hindu religions, they say namaste, meaning I recognize the God within you.
Yeah.
And so this idea that we have a divinity within us, is that a consensus for all of you, that we have a divinity, a divine creator that is creator inside of us?
That's a way to put it. So in the previous show with Jen, I want to do both sides of the audience. So on one side of the coin, for those people who've always ascribed God to be outside of us and the consciousness to be something that is separate from us, I would invite you to accept that if God created you in likeness and an image, you are a replica of God. So it's the language you put around it. So the very thing that you're seeking outside of you is in you.
Yes.
And then if you take it a step further, he formed Adam and then breathed the essence of life, which is our soul,
Yes.
on this side of the table. So not only do you look like him, not only are you made like him, but you have his breath.
Yes.
So you're an individualized expression of that breath.
Yes. The breath they call ruach.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the essence of life that is not contained to the body because it existed and then it was breathed into the body.
Yes.
And on the new thought plane over here, it's we are God.
Yes. Yes.
Beautifully
Now,
said.
see, that was nicely stated. So we're wrapping up this segment, and that's probably a very appropriate way to sort of really dovetail into that. So I want to thank you all for this incredible conversation. You know this can go on, right?
Yes.
So, but it's just a snippet of some
Amazing
future
energy.
dialogue that we want to have around energy, around transformation, and
Yeah.
around things that we can do as a community to start changing our world.
Yeah.
Tell folks how they can get in touch with you, Stephanie.
With me, you can find me on all social media platforms. I am Dr. Steph 25. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'd love to connect with you.
Awesome. And Ms. Teddy Noev, tell us, how do folks get in touch with you?
Same here, social media platforms. My website is yourbestlife.solutions. I'm on Facebook, not TikTok, but I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn.
Yes.
Teddy Noev, Noev.
Awesome. Can you guys hold your books up so folks can see what
Yes.
you've got there? I don't want to end without that. So both of you and tell us the title of the books.
The book I wrote came out in January of this year and made it Amazon bestseller in 2 categories.
Beautiful.
Your Best Life Reclaimed, as if someone that felt like they lost ownership and control in their life, that was me, and reclaimed it. So to all of you who need reclaiming, if you visit my website, yourbestlife.solutions, you can download a free copy of chapter 1 of my book.
Nice, nice. We're going to unpack that a little bit more
Yes.
in an upcoming segment. So I'm excited about that.
And
Awesome.
then for me, I have my program is called the Spiritual Detox. So I've got a Spiritual Detox workbook, and then I've got a Spiritual Detox journal. Journaling is one of the daily spiritual practices that I teach, preach, and embody. So these are on Amazon as well, and it just helps you to begin the process of decluttering that trauma.
I love it. I love it. Mind and
For sure.
body.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much. Jen, anyway, it's been a fun conversation. Folks, you
Awesome.
are
It has
listening
been,
to
yeah.
Ninja Talks here on Edge Radio TV. We're going to take a quick break. When we come
which are electromagnetic fields. Those are man-made frequencies from our cell phones, microwaves, etc. Okay. Well, this is the way I feel. First, gravity is part of what makes this Earth function. So is scalar energy and negative ions. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so what I want to stir this around in there for a little bit. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is I just want to take a sip. Grab your cell phone.
This is ridiculous.
Your phone took it away.
Right. So
I
the EMFs
swear.
of the phone take that right away. Okay. And so
a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. My sort of mantra. Okay,
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
And we are back. Welcome to Ninja Talks. This is Oscar Hines, and I am here with the amazing Miss Teddy Noav. Teddy, we had an interesting conversation a little bit ago, and when I started reading your book, it was compelling because you went through some stuff, questionable time in their lives, and you were dealing with a lot, and that became part of the story that you started to tell. So, in brief, share a little bit of that with us.
Well, thank you for one way, spiritually, physically, you can name it in more than one way. The whole point of this book, me writing this book, is that we all have stories to share. And unfortunately, some people have done some horrible, unjust things to us.
Yeah.
And I can tell you probably they have their own stories to tell, but that's a different segment, right?
Sure.
But it's what we choose to do with those stories. I tell my women clients that I work with, you get to tell your story once. Why once? Because if you keep retelling your sad story to yourself and others, you become the main character of that story.
That's right.
You're making yourself the victim.
That's right.
And with this, you develop a victim mentality.
Yes.
And the time to turn the tables around is never too late. It's now.
Yes, yes. So this victim mentality is sort of a narrative, right, that we create in our own heads.
Mm-hmm.
How does it affect people in their relationships, in their careers, in the trajectory of their life?
Wow, that's a huge question. It affects everything. It affects all your relationships, family relationships, personal, at work, your most important relationship, the one you have with yourself.
Yes.
Because ultimately, all our other relationships mirror the one we have with ourselves. Self-esteem, lack of boundaries. People that play victim mentality and victim roles, they're so attached and used to the role there, to the known for them, that they give away their power by giving their energetic boundaries away.
Wow.
To others, to circumstances, to people.
Yes, yes. And when those boundaries are compromised, now they are compromised as a being, as an interactive member of society, as a family member, as a person. They're compromised.
Yes, they are. And there's good news. The good news is no matter what you've done and what choices you've made, all your years of your lifetime, for years and decades up until now, the good news is that you can change it. You're given a new energetic moment right here and right now.
So how do you do that, though? So here's the big challenge when I talk to people from a transformation standpoint. People find comfort sometimes in bad habits, like eating or promiscuousness or drugs or alcohol or whatever. And so they find an escape inside of those things because those things they associate somehow with pleasure, release, etc. So how do you get somebody to break those destructive patterns? Because those patterns are really what's tethering them and holding them back, right?
Absolutely, you're right. How do you get someone who has been riding that roller coaster of victim mentality and misery and self-abusive patterns is to let them to feel and experience again. So step one is figuring out what were the blocks, what are those milestones in their life that made them prisoners of their story. Mm-hmm. That's step number one.
Yes, yes. So when they're in prison, most people don't know they're in prison. So there's a realization that has to happen too, right?
Well, you're correct, because you cannot help someone who is not aware that they need help, right?
Yeah. I used to like saying when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's number one, foremost. They need to be aware that they need help and that they have a pattern that has been repeating, and they're ready and committed to let go and heal themselves.
Yes, yes.
And I said earlier, the good news is that you can do it right here and right now. And you should be asking me, what is the bad news? There's no bad news. We are given an energetic, brand new moment every time of our life.
We just have to seize it, embrace it, and
Absolutely.
recognize that it's there, right?
Absolutely.
Be-
Absolutely.
Because I think sometimes, like when I talk to people, I see that there's not a real awareness about the present. So or we can fear what the future is going to be. But at the end of the day, neither one of those exist anymore, right? So when you're talking to your clients, how do you frame that so that it makes sense to them?
You know, the present is our gift to ourselves, our best gift that we can give ourselves. You mentioned living in the past. That's called depression. If you keep reliving the past over and over again, you're in a depressed mode. You're in a coulda, shoulda, woulda mode, right? Or if you have anxiety of some unforeseen future that is yet to happen,
Yes.
you're still escaping the now, and you live with that anxiety of something that may or may not happen. So the only way to embrace your healing is to be present for yourself right here and right now in this brand new energetic moment.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Because really, if somebody stays present in this moment, then they're embracing all of the nuances of it, like if it's with your children or with somebody that you care about. So there's a great value to that. Now, when we listen to all the stuff that's out there, so many young people have gone through so much trauma, physical abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse. What do you say to help them to start getting out of that quagmire, that muddy place of dark